From 5 News, I'm Meteorologist Stephen Elmore. This is your 5+ extended forecast. Happy New Year. Now that we're going into the rest of 2025 and the rest of this week, really, we've got some changes coming as well. Now that we're into the new year, of course, we're still in winter as well. Still tracking some of the chances for some much cooler air once we get into the first full week of 2025. But the rest of this work week, even if you had today off, going back to work for the second and the third, going back into the weekend as well. Gonna have some chilly mornings, but overall pretty mild, at least through Saturday. Sunday has always been marked as the day that we've been talking about for the last several days, as the day where some changes are gonna come in. The good news is that we got some changes today, and the problem the past couple of days has been that models have been disagreeing with each other. Finally, the two main models that we look at for long-range data are starting to agree with each other on what we could be in store for Sunday. What we've known for the past couple of days, and what we especially know and can confirm for today, is that after that Sunday system pushes through, the rest of that next week is going to be very, very cold outside. Unfortunately, we have to start using the terms of dangerous cold outside, because that cold air is going to change our temperature drastically going into early next week after this weekend. Taking a look at tomorrow morning as you head out the door, maybe getting back into that workflow. Temperature's not too bad. It's going to be chilly in the morning hours, but this, again, is the continuance of our mild pattern throughout the rest of the work week, with morning temperatures starting off into the mid to upper 20s and low 30s out there tomorrow morning. Chilly, but not too bad compared to what will be later on into the week. You're going to see more cloud coverage build in for tomorrow across northwest Arkansas. Even though temperatures are going to be starting off pretty chilly, daytime highs warm up into the upper 40s and low 50s, with cloud coverage building throughout the day on Thursday. Across the River Valley, temperatures starting right around that freezing point. The rest of the day, though, temperatures warming back up into those low 50s, and again, expect more cloud coverage throughout the day tomorrow. I don't think it's overcast by any means, but it is going to be some passing clouds here and there. That trend continues throughout the rest of the week and going into the weekend. Sunday's that day that we are going to be talking about some changes into the forecast, but then there afterwards, after that system comes through, take a look at these temperatures for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Unfortunately, I have to tell you that these days, those are the real temperatures. We are going to have to factor in a wind chill value that is going to make it dangerously cold outside early next week. Across the River Valley, temperatures starting off close, or if not below, the freezing point throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. Sunday's the day of change where that big system comes through, and then take a look from Monday through Wednesday. Early next week, we're talking about very cold temperatures, and again, these are the real temperatures when you factor in the wind and what it feels like outside. Going to be much cooler than that. So let's talk about the next big impact coming for Sunday. Some really good news coming our direction. Yesterday and the days prior, we were talking about where is that freezing line going to be. The 3 layers that you see on these models during these winter seasons is where the layer of snow is, usually further up towards the north, the layer of freezing rain, which is always usually in the middle, and then where's the rain towards the south. The good news is what I can tell you, that models are agreeing that that freezing line looks to be further up towards the north, and we are just expecting some scattered showers throughout the day on Sunday. Further up towards the north, you got friends in southern Missouri, you got family in portions of Missouri as well, parts of Illinois, really across mainly the Midwest before you dive into the south is where that freezing rain is going to be and where some heavy snowfall is going to be. You're going to be seeing plenty of things on social media the next several days talking about the snow and freezing rain event that's about to hit the Midwest. I'm here to tell you, at least models today, again, things can change very quickly with winter weather, but models today are showing that we are going to be south of the freezing line, which would tend to agree with the chances of just some scattered showers, not in the way of any winter precipitation. The bad news is that we are going to get some rain and that it's going to get very cold very fast. We're talking about the dangerously cold temperatures as soon as Sunday night going into Monday morning. What's still up in the air is that if Sunday, when we get those scattered showers, will it start to get cold enough, quick enough, going overnight into Monday morning, that we could see some refreeze? Meaning, what I mean by that is it falls as rain, hits the surface, and the surface is cold enough that we could have some patchy spots of some ice. We don't know that exactly right now yet because we're still working with those models that are still in the long range portions of things. I think if I had to say something right now is that the ground may be a little bit too warm to see any widespread ice, but there's definitely a potential if the surface is still wet going into Monday morning. When that cold air arrives, we could have some ice across the area, not falling as freezing rain, but falling as rain, hitting the surface, and then freezing. Let's look at Futurecast between the two models that we got for today. Again, now starting to show some agreement. This is that first model going from Sunday all day long. You see those scattered showers moving in. Maybe on the tail end of this system, really going into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, we could see maybe some snowflakes, mainly across northwest Arkansas, across the river valley, maybe seeing just those scattered showers. If anything, a brief period of some freezing rain, not much though to cause any panic. So really this model showing us that a majority of our day on Sunday looks like we're going to see scattered showers. We look at the next model that was showing some disagreement the past several days, and now it's starting to catch up and agree. Both models now showing that, again, scattered showers throughout the day on Sunday, with maybe the back half of the system in the evening hours showing that we could see a snowflake or two as temperatures get much, much cooler. After this system though, that's when the cold air is going to arrive. So this is a look at Sunday morning when that system is going to be coming in. Temperatures more than likely above the freezing point. That's why we're talking about scattered showers and not any chances of the way of any freezing rain or snowflakes. That's going to be way up towards the north. Now, before I advance into the Monday slide, again, this is what we call an Arctic blast. This is a very powerful cold front that's going to usher in a lot of that cooler air across most of the United States. So prepare yourself. This is what Monday morning looks like. We go from temperatures feeling like we're into the mid to upper 30s to the single digits in teens going into Monday morning. This is where the issue comes up of if there is still water on the roadways, if it can freeze fast enough, what's called a flash freeze, that we do have some patchy ice across the roadways going into Monday morning. We'll have to wait and see. There's definitely a possibility of that, though, as we stand right now. We'll have to see how trends work their way out over the next several days. Here's a look at some long-range data of what Monday could look like. As kiddos are heading back to school, as all of us are heading back to work and getting back into that routine post-holidays, we have wind chills starting off close to 5 degrees in northwest Arkansas, across the river valley, 10 to 15 degrees. And unfortunately, this trend is going to stick with us throughout the first half of the week. This is Tuesday morning now, still below 10 degrees across northwest Arkansas. 10 degrees or below across northwest Arkansas for Tuesday morning. Across the river valley, anywhere between 15 to 20 degrees when it comes to the wind chill. Even into Wednesday morning, we're still into the single digits across northwest Arkansas and those teens across the river valley. So that's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all starting off either in the single digits or the teens across the area. This is a powerful cold front that's going to bring in some much cooler air. Start thinking about how you're going to prepare that house. I'll give you some tips right now. Obviously, when you turn on the heat, get the heat constantly running, not just to keep you warm, and I know that gets expensive once we get that bill coming in February, but you want to also open up those cabinets as well. Let that warm air rush into those pipes, especially underneath the sink, and especially across surfaces that outside is just the air. So you got that, your wall, and if the next part of the wall is the outside, you want to make sure you have some open air going through those pipes as well, so we avoid some freeze. Obviously, we have to start thinking about pets as well. You got dogs that are outside, you got cats that are outside, you've got any pets of yours that are outside predominantly throughout the day. This is the type of system where maybe we start to think about bringing those guys in, start thinking about how we're going to prepare the house for a pet to be inside. You got to think about the kiddos out on the bus stop. We don't know what the schools are going to do just yet. When it comes to Monday, if there's some ice across the area, I project that maybe we could see some school closures. But also what these schools are going to be debating is it too cold in the morning hours for those kiddos to sit out on the bus stop? I don't have those answers for you. It's going to have to come from the individual school districts. I'll tell you what, though, is that exposure is going to be an issue throughout the first half of next week with wind chill values anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees. You're going to have to bundle up. You're going to have to wear hats, gloves, extra coats, layer up with, and avoid trying to have that skin exposed to the outdoor air for long amounts of time, because that's where we could run into some issues. Now, once you get closer towards the back half of the week, I'll show you Thursday now. It's still really cold outside, but Thursday, that's when we see the trends going back up the right direction, where mornings are going to be starting off into the low to mid 20s once again, even going into Friday of next week, low to mid 20s as well. But even some trends showing, I know we're getting into the extended forecast now. Friday of next week, who's to know what happens right now, but maybe we start to see some signs of some winter precipitation coming back as well. That's a really far outlook, though. Let's take a look at that 10-day forecast across northwest Arkansas. Some good news, some bad news. Good news is rest of this week, pretty mild, even going into the weekend. Sunday's the day where that big system is going to come sweeping across the United States, further up towards the north, snow, freezing rain. The freezing line looks to remain further up towards the north, so we are expected to see maybe just some scattered showers throughout the day. The issue is if that rain is going to freeze overnight going into Monday morning, as wind chill values are going to be into the single digits and the teens. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday going into next week, that's where every morning it is going to be very, very cold outside with real temperatures into the teens, wind chill values anywhere between the single digits and the teens across the river valley. But really, the daytime highs not climbing above freezing until we get closer towards the end of the week. We're talking about a multiple day freeze across the area, where we don't see temperatures climbing above that freezing point until later on into the week. Across the river valley, temperatures into the end of the week, not too bad, upper 40s and low 50s. Sunday is when that system comes in, and you see the big temperature drop there, where temperatures are going to be well below the freezing point, especially in the morning hours with wind chill values into the teens. Daytime highs going to be hovering right around the freezing point for the early half of the week before we start to warm up slightly towards the end of the week, only by a few degrees, and maybe starting to see some signs of that's when our next system could be coming in. Low chances right now, not expecting anything much as of today, but when we're in winter, things can change very quickly. When it comes to those models, like day to day, like we saw from yesterday to today, now starting to see some signs of agreement. Where Sunday, just expecting some scattered showers as of now. The big question mark, though, is going to be if there's enough wind, if there's enough time between the end of the rain and when the cold air comes in overnight into Monday morning to avoid a flash freeze. That's some of the wordings that you may hear over the next couple of days. All I want you to know right now is that we're avoiding most of the worst stuff. Don't need to panic right now. Further up towards the north, you got friends in Missouri, Illinois, parts of Indiana. That's where the heavy snowfall is going to be that you'll probably see across social media. You'll probably hear from friends and family further up towards the north that they're expecting a big system. You can go right back to them and tell you, hey, 5 News is telling us that we're just expecting some rain, but maybe Monday morning and really the mornings there afterwards, it's going to be very, very cold for us. We'll continue to update you if there's any changes over the next several days, but I'll tell you what, today is a positive sign towards that Sunday system with just having some rain, but very, very cold temperatures from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday into early next week. From 5 News, I'm meteorologist Stephen Elmore. That's your 5+ extended forecast.